Rumor buzzes all around close to NFL draft night, and the Chargers could be looking into a running back here in the free agent market come the draft night. Find out the details here on Chargers Syndicate. Bolt up, Bolt fam. How are we feeling today? It is I, Jake Silva, here on Chargers Syndicate, giving you everything LA Chargers news and so much more. If it is your first time ever on the channel, I encourage you guys to like, subscribe, hit the bell button, keep you up to date on future and past videos, as this video is sponsored by Green Gridiron. Get your personalized, customizable helmet, whether collectible or life-size helmet, through greengridiron.com of your favorite team, your design, your style, your way. At greengridiron.com, and before checkout, use promo code LACSYN. That is LACSYN is the promo code at checkout for your exclusive discount at greengridiron.com. All right, Charger fans. Well, we are very close to the NFL draft. Super excited about it. However, there has been rumor buzzes going around about potentially what the Chargers could do come the draft night, or maybe even beforehand. So rumor buzzes is the LA Chargers, we already know, have made a signing to sign Najee Harris to a one-year contract. However, are they going to potentially draft a running back, or could they possibly look into the free agent market and land one from there? And one of the names that has been floating around is Cleveland Browns running back Nick Chubb. Now, to me personally, because you get Najee Harris, we know that him being a type of power bell cow running back, Najee Harris is going to obviously lead the way. But if you get experience up and in the table, Nick Chubb, I think, could be an interesting option. However, you're starting to see some of these players that were once in their primes starting to slowly erode. Now, nothing against Nick Chubb at all. As the former second round, 35th overall pick in 2018 by the Cleveland Browns out of Cedartown, Georgia, Nick Chubb last season had 102 carries, 332 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, averaging 3.3 yards a carry before he ended up going down with a foot injury that we don't even know exactly how he will look like come the 2025 NFL season. So Nick Chubb, to me, I feel like is an interesting option, but to me does not seem like someone of a need as far as rotational back. But it is an interesting considering option to Jim Harbaugh and the way that Greg Roman runs his system with going into run first, pass second. So to me, Nick Chubb, I mean, he still provides a bit of speed. He still provides a bit of that brute force type of run where he can go in, break off some tackles, and at least get a few yards on the carry. Now, to me personally, Nick Chubb, he's starting to kind of come onto the decline. Now, the former 1,000-yard rusher, all the way from 2019 to 2022, has definitely slowed down afterwards. 2023, he was out with an ACL injury, and then in 24 came back slowly, but still managed to rack up 3 rushing touchdowns before he ended up going down with a foot injury that initially costed his season. So with that being said, you're starting to see a lot of these free agent names that is not particularly a need, but it's more of filling up the depth roster. So to me, Nick Chubb could be a very good, interesting rotational piece, but is not of somebody that I would consider as far as rotational into the second running back spot. So to me, if I'm the Chargers, I would much rather want to go out and get a running back anyway, and somebody that's going to complement the rotational piece with someone like Najee Harris. So if you're providing the bell cow, at least provide some speed and some elusiveness. There's a bunch of different running backs up and in this draft with how loaded that the rosters are. This is going to be interesting. So I feel like with Nick Chubb, if the Chargers were to go by this route, to me, it feels like you're going to get more power rushing. You're going to get a little bit of some speed, but I would still add speed and elusiveness to this running back room. And considering you've got a second year in Kamani Vidal and how the team ended up with rushing last year, I mean, it was very good. It was very good, but of course they want to double down on that and they want to better improve. Now, in the end, I still want to say we need to end up improving up on passing, but again, nothing like getting another running back at some point if you're going to go and get some rotational pieces, and if you're going to get somebody as far as depth per se, this is actually not a bad idea to end up adding on if the Chargers were to go this route. But I would still want to consider drafting a running back in this piece. But if Nick Chubb, if he's available up in the right spots, I would maybe consider putting him there and, adding on and get your running back room fully loaded so that way the Chargers have plenty of running backs to utilize. And whether it's red zone options, whether it's third down options, or you're just needed to mix some things up when it comes to the offense on the run game. That's going to do it here on Charger Syndicate. Like, subscribe, hit the bell button, keep you up to date on future and past videos. It is Jake Silva signing off here. Have a great rest of your day, and always remember to bolt up all season long.